All right, so I'm working on this Archtop guitar. As you can see, it's not finished yet. I'm doing the binding. So the fun part is always, you know, the recurve area, not the recurve, the cutaway, and that whole flow of the anatomy of the instrument. I'm using this kind of plastic binding. It's the color the client wanted, which is fine. But the trick I use, I mean, this is pliable enough where you could wrap it all the way around this and then cut that tight radius in and it'll be probably bend and be okay. But sometimes it will stress the plastic too much and you get these kind of discolored kind of ripples and wrinkles in it. So what I do kind of just to be on the safe side is I'll just use like a hair dryer, blow dryer, and kind of gently warm up about where it's gonna be bending and kind of just tuck it in there, apply acetone, and then tape. And so that's what I'm gonna do here. This roll's almost done, so I've got my backup painter's tape. All right, so, and then I have some acetone in this bowl, and it's like leaking through it, so that's pretty cool. All right, so it might be a little noisy. So I'm just kind of keep the blow dryer moving. I don't want to stay in one spot too long. And I'm just kind of, just like when you're bending wood, you just kind of test the material, kind of apply some pressure, see if it's giving or not, and then kind of let that dictate it. Again, just gently. Also, if you hold the blow dryer in one spot and just blast one spot, it's gonna possibly loosen up the glue. That's holding the sides on. Bend this here. I'm kind of trying to keep the binding kind of cornered in the binding channel, and then applying pressure with my fingers to tuck it in. You can see it pretty pliable. Alright, I think that's good. So it's in there good. I'm just gonna hold it now for like a couple seconds, just to let it cool off. It's not gonna hold that shape. Like if I let go, it'll spring out, but this is a good start to just kind of, it's not being forced. There's little stress applied to the sharp bends. What I'm actually gonna do is just to hold this kind of loosely in place instead of using a clamp, because that's gonna dent this material and where the pickup is gonna go. I'm gonna use this piece of tape, maybe. Just kind of use it as like a little placeholder. If that holds. I'll do another one. All right. So now that I've that binding kind of loosely in place and about where it needs to be, what I'm gonna do is bang it on the tape dispenser. After I do that, I'm gonna move, these are just some pieces I cut ahead of time. I'm just gonna take this bowl that's leaking and I'm just gonna brush some acetone around this horn here. This tape first. Now when I'm applying the tape, I'm kind of pushing in, kind of diagonally down and into the bind channel, and then pulling the tape taut. I'm gonna loosen this tape now. It's nice because you can just kind of tear it. And then working it. And then I'm now just going to use my fingers here. I'm just going to brush some acetone in. It's tricky around the horn cutaway because you have so many different angles of pressure you need. Grab this piece. And honestly, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this dry as is. I'm gonna now kind of go back and wrap it with this long green rubber band. And then I'm going to do this next part just because I want to make sure that this is nice and taut around the bend here. And I don't want to keep going all the way and then there's like a little gap and then you're like, oh crap. Like, yeah, it's not the end of the world. You could take some scrap and melt it in the acetone and then kind of fill that in. It'll be the same color. But I just want to have it nice and taut. And so I'm going to just put this piece of tape here to hold that. And just to hold this as placeholders. So now, take this rubber band. Just wrap it around here. You can do whatever pattern you like. Today I have no particular pattern that I'm trying to create. And then what I did is on this rubber band, I kind of tied a knot here so that I can just tuck it under wherever I am. And the little knot will add as a little anchor and it won't slide through. So anyway, that's kind of how I go about doing that initial binding around that curve there. Have this other side done with the binding. Looks super rough, but I'll do the final carving once all the binding is on the front and the back. Blah, blah, blah. All right, that's kind of how it goes.